Good morning, world.
Good morning.
So we're filming today, and Cedric and I, it's like fire and ice. So I've got this going on right now, and we just don't have the infrastructure. Those of you who watch us from, up north or on the East Coast, northeast, this is nothing for you, but we don't have salt for the roads. We don't have plows. So I got the day off because I couldn't drive into work. And Cedric, who drives through LA, is dealing with this stuff, and it's horrible what's going out there in California. My cousin lost his house, and I'm praying for all the people because it's devastated out there. It looks like a war zone, and man.
I'll make this real fast before we get into it. Thank you to all of you who have left comments in the comment section. I've seen them. Like Cedric, let us know if you're okay. Brian knows where I live. I'm about 50 miles inland from the Pacific Palisades and Malibu, where the fires are creating a lot of devastation. And it's gone a little inland to Altadena and Pasadena. But me and my family were safe. But please, like Brian just said, keeping your thoughts and your prayers to people who are being affected by this.
Yeah, it's interesting because just a few years ago when I was still living out where Cedric is, that's when we had those fires, but they were not nearly as bad. This is the worst fires in the history of California since they recorded this, and since it's built up so much, so it's crazy.
Right.
All right. Oh, I might have been unfocused the whole last episode. So, Cedric, we're going to do another Steven Wilson because I had two requests for it. One is by Just Gen X, and she said, "You'll love 1994, Year to Be Young. As a veteran, I love all the wars from now on." And then that wasn't the only one I had. I had a second one. So this one, after they heard us do Father, Son, this is from Ephesians 2, and it's cut off. It says, "Speaking of grunchery," he said grungery, but I call it gruntry, "check out Steven Wilson Jr., Year to Be Young. You should notice the riff intro throughout." So we're going to do Steven Wilson Jr., Year to Be Young, 1994, Cedric.
Year to be young.
I apologize.
Stay tuned. I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian. Okay, guys, we are going to do this song. This is Steven Wilson Jr. We will not get monetized. We are going to do this for you two that commented, but as we've said before, we would appreciate if you do your requests on our Cash App or our Venmo, just because for songs like this, we'd like to keep the lights on and the cameras rolling. So with that, you ready, Cedric?
Let's go.
All right. You know that riff.
Yeah.
Do you know that riff, Cedric?
I do.
I must admit I felt the flame. Kurt Cobain, a Fender Mustang. MTV brought me up. This is your brain on drugs.
Yes, we do stop. And we've had comments. People like when we stop. Go listen to Steven Wilson Jr., this video that I will put in the link so you can hear it all the way through. But we stop because we are doing a reaction. We have to react. And so he mentioned Kurt Cobain, so that original riff is right from a Nirvana song. Yes. And two things I wanted to mention. So Cedric and I, in 1994, we were young-ish. I was 29, so I wasn't real young, but I was a grunge guy, as Cedric knows, so this gets me right here. And this is your brain on drugs. Cedric, why don't you tell them about that?
Wow. Like I know about my brain being on drugs. I don't know if that was was that a Nancy Reagan thing?
I believe it was during that era, and it's they fry an egg on a pan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's that commercial. They took an egg and they threw it into a frying pan and said, "This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Great, good visual there. Stay off the drugs. Stay off the drugs.
All right. This is your brain on drugs. And I won't forget that first girlfriend that got me into Boys to Men. I grew up about that year. My sweatshirt said no fear. My life was a stereo, and it was everything. First one in line for the last dance with Mary Jane. Hiding in my headphones, laying on the bedroom floor. 1994. Tell Mom, see you later. Now don't be blowing up my pager. When the show's over, I'll come home. When that is, I don't know. Teen spirit in the air before we all on cell phones. Study hall passing notes. Yes, no, or I don't care.
So this is interesting. So 1994. So for Cedric and I, we kind of split the difference. Or did you graduate in 84 or 83 or 85, I mean?
85.
85. So I graduated high school in 83. He graduated in 85. So this is 10 years after our graduation. But I was in chiropractic school during this time, Cedric. And I remember switching from a pager to a cell phone around this time, which he just mentioned. And he did mention he mentioned Teen Spirit. So those of you who know, another Nirvana
Yes.
reference. So
Yes. Yeah, you mentioned Boys to Men.
Yep.
During my college days, a couple of my buddies are maybe watching Aaron. We used to do lip sync and talent shows for our college shows, the Boys to Men, and we had the steps down and everything. And I will try and find a picture. I had a Gumby. For those of you who don't know, that's a flat top that's slanted to the side. I had a Gumby for a minute, but I got rid of that. And although I didn't have a pager, because there was a certain reference to being a young black child in LA with a pager than Brian, who lived in Orange County, having a pager. But I did have to be home before the streetlights came on.
yeah. So this is a true Gen X song here. Huh? It's like on that borderline, but
When my life was a stereo, and it was everything. Soundtrack, first kiss, out at the roller rink. Hands held, two hearts falling on the hardwood floor. 1994. 1994. Think you know it all when you don't know any better. You tell yourself you're gonna live forever. Fire's burning, and I'm still holding the torch. Yeah, from 1994. A year to be young, 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 a year to be young. When my life was a stereo, back when my life was a stereo, yeah. Back when my life was a stereo, man, it was everything. Soundtrack takes me back through all those memories. Hiding in my headphones, laying on the bedroom floor. It takes me back through the days when a song was worth so much more.
Nice. That was good.
Yeah, that was. It's Cedric, I think, had already had at least his twins by then, though, right?
My daughters were 94, were 2 years old. I had 24-month-old twins, and I would think to myself, the hospital let me leave with these two individuals. My goodness.
So for us, we're trying to adult at that point. So Cedric was kind of forced into adulting because he had 2 kids already. And I was going through. I'd already graduated.
I was married and then had kids.
That was.
You left that out.
He was married for the first time.
Wow. Jeez.
I had yet to be married. I was dating somebody for a long time. I was in chiropractic school, but
What was his name?
that's real funny. Real funny. But 94. So we were already starting to get into the digital age by then. It's nothing like it was now. You couldn't carry your music in your pocket unless you still, you could have a CD. So we went from a Walkman to a CD Walkman, which were horrible because every time you bumped something, it would skip.
Right.
So it was before we got to the first, iPod, where you could actually have unskippable digital music, but I don't think that had come out yet, had it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it was late, much later.
Well, I love the lyric, and I'm going to misquote it here. He said, "My life was a stereo," and it reminds me of the moments when you would just lay in your bedroom and you would have albums spread out, and you would just sit there and be in your own little world and just listen to it. There was no cell phones, there was no news coming over about politics. It was just you and your music, and it was just a place for you to get lost and just be alone.
Yeah, and he said that's when music meant more. That's kind of a double there because it meant more, I guess, because you had to sit with it, but it also meant more because they didn't really have streaming services then. I guess Napster had come out, but that was almost like a controversial, or you had to illegally try to get stuff. Had it been there for 94? I don't think. I think it's really close. But back then, like Cedric said, you still had to buy music. And so it meant something. You spent your hard-earned money to get some songs that you wanted to hear without having to wait on the radio, because back then it was just the radio, and you had to wait till your song came on if you didn't buy it. So, yeah, good lyrics. Good lyrics. It means a lot. That's, like I said, I'm guessing he's probably about 10 years younger than us, Cedric. He's probably close to my wife's age. She would have graduated high school in 93, so, that was kind of her era. I think Boyz II Men and a lot of the boy bands were out back then, too, I think. It was the 90s, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Very, very nostalgic. It's a song I could listen to over and over again. Brings back good memories.
Yeah, and the riffs. And for those of you guitar people, I noticed this because I was trying to learn the last song we did, Father Son, and he drop tunes his guitar, and he drop tunes it even more than what most of the grunge guys did, but that's how he's able to get these licks, because he basically tunes his guitar how all the grunge guys did it back then, which was called drop D tuning. But good stuff. Thank you for recommending that. I don't know if I would have caught this one. It looks like here it's over a year old, maybe.
Wow.
A year ago. So
okay. Good stuff.
Again.
All right, you guys.
I had my niece. It's funny how we do things, Cedric, because my niece saw this and she's like, I was going to tell you about Stephen Wilson Jr. I just found out about him and I knew you would like him. So,
She was gonna.
Here we go.
I was gonna.
I was gonna.
Jeez. Just tell us.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right, you guys. That was great. Again, to backtrack to our intro, keep the people out here in California, and I'm just finding this about the ice in Tennessee, keep those people in your thoughts and prayers as well, but especially the people out here in California who are losing their homes and are running on generators, and our fire chief is making DEI hires instead of quality fires, and the public is fighting. You know what? That's a different video for another time.
Come on,
Keep
Cedric.
those people in your thoughts and prayers. Piss poor water and fire management and brush management by our governor and our mayor dashing off to Ghana to be a part of the inauguration there when she should have been here. I'm not going to do it. We will put out another video later.
Too late.
I'll put out another video later. Make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell, and continue sharing our channel with everyone you know from California to Tennessee and all around the world. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
I'm Brown. See you later. picture.